All right, hello and welcome. Welcome to episode 8 of On the Road. I'm Brandon here from South Africa, and joining me we have Luke from the UK, we have Matt from Australia, and we have Victoria from New Zealand. One thing that you will notice is that we have another character with us. We have one of our lovely, lovely friends. His name is John. John's from Liverpool. And John mainly works in Spain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to John to introduce yourself, and then we'll go from there. So John, tell us more about yourself.
Hi guys, hi expats. Originally from Liverpool, but been living and working overseas for many, many years, tour leading for 8 years. And in them 8 years, I've worked a lot of Spain and Portugal, although I do work all over Europe, lots of different tours. I love the entire continent, but my favourite part, my favourite country is Spain. You'll find out why soon. I'm currently in the Philippines, so I'm not actually in the UK, I'm in the Philippines. Yes, which I am embracing. It's a bit longer than I expected to be, yeah. But Filipino people, Filipino food, and a nice climate. I can't really complain. So
John, you've been in the Philippines in intense lockdown for the last 4 months.
I have, yes. I'm in Cebu City. I call it the land of eternal lockdown. But I'm not the only stranded person here. I was in a hotel initially, but now I'm actually in an English school with some other stranded people, and we have a bubble tea shop. I have a gym, a dance studio, I have a piano, and they're all the things I love to do. So I'm actually managing to keep myself entertained. However, it has been a very long time, I must confess, but still I've been able to manage, and I'm very grateful. And I'm healthy, I'm safe, I'm fed, so on and so forth.
Amazing. Yeah, that's good. So John, you're talking about Spain.
And just before we jump into this, I've got to quickly do something, because John, talking about it's been a long time for you since you've seen people. For me, it feels like it's been a long time since I've seen Matt. I just felt this needed addressing very quickly, because last week we were minus Matt. I'm not sure what happened. I haven't heard from him since, and I just wanted to say, Matt, what was happening? What were you up to last week, mate?
Wait! I know what happened. Didn't the bars open in Australia that day?
Yes, they didn't. No, they didn't open that day. They had been open. I had intended to be there, but I was catching up with some old colleagues I hadn't seen in like 4 or 5 years in the afternoon, which is why I asked to push it back to 7 just to make sure I could be there. But I assumed,
and we did push it back to 7. I believe.
Yeah. They've all got like young babies now, so I thought, we'll just have a few beers, catch up, and then everyone will go home to their families. No, they turned up ready to roll. They had full passes, and I was sorry, I wasn't gonna ditch my friends I hadn't seen in a very long time. So apologies for not being there. I'm back on track. Support. And
you're the reliable
I'm sure
one.
Romy did a lovely job filling in for me, so you guys won't know.
Oh, funny.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Matt ditched us for the bar, and we're cool with it, you know.
Yeah, Brandon, you would do exactly the same thing. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm surprised he hasn't already done it. To be honest.
What about you, Luke? The pubs opened yesterday, did they not?
They did, and guess what? Believe it or not, I have not been to the pub yet.
Wilderness for half the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, because you're so anti-establishment. Now that the pubs are open, you're not going to go anywhere near them.
Now the pubs are open, he goes to the Lake District and goes camping for 3 days.
I've got a full-on Christmas candles, mate. That's it.
All right. Okay, so I want to get a little bit more Spain-centric. And you know, we've kind of brushed on the idea of what a specialty region is. And I think I want to mainly highlight on what's so important about regions and why they are, you know, so special to us. Because normally as a tour guide, you start with, the majority of Europe. You do the loop, you do the, a basic, you go Paris, you go Rome, you hit all the big cities. But then when you specialize, something changes in you, I think. And for me, it's, you find this little niche. So you find this something that's so special to you. So for me, it's something like when I'm in France, the food, the culture, the language, it's so special for me. So that's what I wanted to ask you, John. What about the region of Spain and Portugal really stands out for you? Is it food? Is it culture? Is it music? What is that for you?
For me, food, definitely, but it's also the affordability. It's also the affordability of food, because Spanish food is quite basic in general, but it's affordable, which means you can eat out more often. And I'm someone that doesn't cook, so to be able to go out and eat for a few euros is excellent, and have a cold beer. Also the language, but it's funny that I didn't actually used to like the Spanish language. I speak French, and I was a bit of a snob, and I was like, oh, je parle français, and I was all in love with French, and I didn't have time for Spanish language. And then I started working in Spain, and I fell in love with it. And now it's my second language. So the language for me is just, I love it. The language is beautiful, really beautiful. The country is beautiful. I mean, there's nothing that I don't like about Spain.
Just a beautiful place to be.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, but definitely food and language. And also what I like about the Spanish people is that they're loud. I'm generally quite extrovert, so it's a reflection of myself. I'm like, hey! I'm actually the quietest person in the venue, and I'm like, whoa, I'm in Spain,
That's so true. Something I love about Spain is the, how everybody goes out really late to eat and is very, very sociable. And no matter what Spanish city you're in, you're always going to find like a really, really lively square or area where you can just go and congregate and be with, the people and the locals. Yeah, I wonder what it's like at the moment, if they're able to do much of that. Well, you're going to find out soon, aren't you, John?
John's going. So you're going to teach English in Spain?
I'm going back to Spain, yes, in September. I'll be in Spain teaching for the academic year. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, John, with your expertise on Spain, this is just a question, because I've been to a few parts of Spain, but I haven't delved into it in a massive detail. Would you say that each region is really, really different?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, because, you've got Andalusia in the south, which is where the Moors, who came from the Middle East and North Africa, they came over, and they were there for the best part of 7 centuries. So the southern part of Spain, which is actually my favourite, has got the whitewashed buildings, it's got hot, hazy days, but it's also the home to tapas and flamenco. There, the people are darker skinned and in general, and loud. There's nothing conservative about the people of the south, and it's also a poorer part as well, which gives it a bit more zest. However, in the northern regions, like the Basque country, where San Sebastian and Bilbao are, and then Catalonia, where Barcelona is, they're the wealthier regions. They actually speak Spanish as a second language in those regions. And there you have bigger, more beautiful, elegant architecture, homes, and it really is a different type of Spain in the north. So although it's a fairly small country, it's quite diverse in its people and in its landscapes as well.
The way that you put that is just, for me, it makes me laugh, because tapas traditionally is free, and that's where the south, where things are a little bit poorer and stuff like that, but the culture is so much richer and they give more, because you go and you have a drink and you get something for free. That's just how things work. If you go to places like Granada, you're going to have that free tapas experience, which you're not going to ever find in the Basque country. So if you go up, you're gonna get going the home of pinchos. You'll have you have to pay for everything. So I think that's something that really sparks that Spanish feeling for me. Which once I want to lead that to a question for you. Have you ever had a moment where you're just sitting there somewhere? It could be somewhere in the south, maybe eating free tapas, and you look around and you just go, there could not be anything more Spanish than this entire moment. Have you ever had like a moment like that?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah. I used to live in Seville, which is the capital of Andalusia, and they have a festival called La Feria in April, and it's free to attend, and they have it in this big open entertainment park. They have a fun fair, and they have these tents called casetas, and so these are all these casetas, all these tents, and basically the whole city has 2 weeks holiday. and people save up all,
siesta you've ever seen.
Exactly, and people save up all year for it because it's quite expensive. And basically you go into these grounds and they have an amusement aspect. They have a fun fair. They have the traditional horses and carriages that you can see around the centre of Seville. They have them there to take people around the grounds at a cost, of course. And then they have these casetas where all of the local people are. Now, the guys are dressed in suits, black or navy blue suits generally, and all of the women are in flamenco dresses, literally all.
Wow.
And they're all in the casetas, which are private, eating tapas, drinking sangria, tinto guarano, drinking the local Spanish beer, talking at 90 miles an hour. They're like, and they dance the dance of Sevillanas, which is similar to flamenco, but not as complicated. You don't need to train for decades in order to be able to dance Sevillanas, but it comes from Seville. So all the women are dancing with the castanets, arriba, arriba. And I remember going with my friends, and I was just like, wow, I mean, this is the epitome of Spain. You cannot get any more Spanish than that.
You couldn't be more stereotypical than that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Everything Spanish all in one. Yeah.
John, you're a dancer, eh?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Can you do flamenco?
You got it there. I was about to ask the same thing.
I can't. No, the thing, I can pretend I can do flamenco.
Have you given it a bit of a shot? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a technique. So it's like percussive, lightning speed percussive steps. Mm-hmm. And so to get those steps, it's a technique and it takes practice. You can't sort of fake it because you're making sounds with the feet. You know, you have to be so precise. So it's difficult. I can fake the arms, just go like this.
Yeah.
But,
I was convinced.
Yeah. Do you guys like what? I'm so enchanted by it. I just can't take my eyes off it whenever I watch it. Do you guys like it?
Yeah, well, it's like, I think Mac was like, I'm not very knowledgeable about dance, but in terms of the feeling that I get when I watch it compared to maybe more organized dance routines, it's a raw expression of passion, you know? And so it's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen in the moment. You're there. It's not like, oh, now I'm doing this step and now this step happens and then this step. It's like they're freestyling what they're feeling and that is coming out of them in raw, unfiltered experience, which I found can be quite difficult to communicate to passengers sometimes, because some people get that and they are enthralled by it, they're hypnotized by it, and they come out of the experience and they're like, they feel like they're on stage with them even though they're just observing. But some people go there and they're like, well, that was just madness. What was happening? I didn't really get it. And so, you know, there's always this big divide in how people experience flamenco. When I've taken passengers to see it, especially when we're in Barcelona on tour, but for me personally, I absolutely love it because as a viewer, you can just lose yourself to it completely.
It's interesting you say that because on the Spain tour, we go to the show in Barcelona, but that is a small cast of flamenco dancers, and it's in the setting of a cave because the style flamenco dance music and song comes from Granada, and it was the gypsies in the caves of Granada that created the art in the first place. And Barcelona, the style of the show reflects that. Whereas we go to another show in Seville, which is in a theatre, and the cast is huge. And so it's a show that's more, I'd say it's more appealing to people that might not be as keen to see the rawness and authenticity as closer to its origins in the art form. So there's actually 2 flamenco shows, but really different. And I always tell my groups that if you want to see it in all its rawness, closer to its origins, go in Barcelona. However, you also have the option of more of a spectacle. It's a bit more commercial, but still traditional flamenco in Seville. So yeah, it varies quite a bit, depends on where you see it.
Amazing. Okay, so one more thing that I really want to touch on with you, John, is it's been quite an exciting few weeks for everyone, because lockdowns and COVID have kind of dampened everyone's spirits. Expat have given us the opportunity, in a way that they've given us tours. So they've given us guaranteed tours, and those guaranteed tours, just to mainly, we've explained it a lot, but basically it gives people the opportunity to travel with us specifically. So if people wanted to travel with you specifically, what tours have Expat actually given you to kind of get people excited to go on a tour with you specifically?
Well, I am on the 21st of June. I'll be working the Italian Delights, which is a 12-day tour. Roma spoke about that last week. It's an amazing tour.
But all those people who've been on tour with you would probably love that.
Yeah.
They want to go. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing tour, and then I've got my a Spain tour on the 31st of July. Next year. That's a 15-day Spain and Portugal tour, which can actually be broken down into 2 sections. You have a 9-day section, which goes from Madrid to the south of Spain and then goes through Portugal and comes back around to Madrid. And then you have the 6-day section, which goes into the northern region of Spain and like the Basque Country, San Sebastian, a little visit to Andorra, and then down through Barcelona and Valencia. So 2 different sections. You can actually do both of them, or just
2 well-balanced tours. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone who wants to do some Spain with John, that's when
I do.
doing it.
I do. That's
me too. Me too. And we'll put the details in the link as well, won't we, Brandon?
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
And I upload it.
Now it's time to put John on the spot. I think we should all think of a quick fire question to ask him like we did last week.
Yes, okay. Favorite food in Spain?
What's that?
Favorite food in Spain?
It has to be espinacas, which is spinach and chickpeas. It's my favorite tapas dish, and it's mixed in with garlic and olive oil. It's incredibly nutritious and really flavoursome. So
is it served warm, served hot?
Yes, it's served warm, yes.
Yes. Yum. I've never heard of that.
Nice wilted spinach with chickpeas in. Yeah.
Yum.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that either. That's amazing. Okay, quickly. Would you rather sangria or a nice rioja?
Oh, sangria.
Sangria.
Yeah.
Sangria
Is it true? Is it true that the Spanish don't actually drink sangria?
I was about to say, yeah, but I don't. When I'm in Spain, this is what I tell my groups, and they all love it, because in Spain they drink tinto verano, which is red wine mixed with lemon or orange Fanta, half and half. So I would prefer to drink that. It gets you slightly more drunk than
is it like a Calimero?
And sangria, but it's what the locals drink is tinto verano. They even have it on tap,
Yeah. Interesting. Have you got one, Matt?
Yeah. I'm still thinking. You go, Vic.
Okay. You've already told us your favorite region, so let me think. Okay, so you have to choose one place to live for the rest of your life: Madrid or Barcelona. You can only choose them.
It would have to be Barcelona.
Okay, why?
Yeah, it's more
because it has the beach, and it's next to the coastline, so Barcelona.
And it's so colourful.
Yeah, I love Barcelona, but I just recently went to Madrid for the first time, and I love Madrid as well. I didn't think I was going to love it, and I love it. Yeah, but you're right. Barcelona has the beach, so yeah.
All right, I got one. So, John, your 2 tours next year that people can join you on, Italy and Spain. Who has the best cuisine, the Italians or the Spanish?
You can't ask that.
You can ask that. What
I know. I was going to say, what's better, Portugal or Spain? And then I thought, I can't ask that. So.
Oh, no, he might get in trouble with our Portuguese colleagues. So I'll leave that one.
I would have to say that Italian food is better than Spanish food.
Oh, that's a big call. That's a big call.
But as I mentioned earlier on, Spanish food is more affordable, so you can have a better outdoors eating and drinking in Spain. Yeah, so because it's about the experience as well as the food.
And the sharing culture is a bit awesome. All
I'm
right.
saying that. Can I just go back on that though? The food in the north of Spain is incredible. So if actually Pinchos, in the gastronomical capital of the country in San Sebastian, is incredible. Country all round, definitely Italy, but Spain has the best region in Europe for food, which is Pinchos, which comes from the country.
I was just thinking that it's amazing that, and Madrid has really good food too, doesn't it? Because it's got food from all the regions.
The Basque Country's cheesecake blows my mind. I've never had a better cheesecake than I have in San Sebastian. I went to a cheesecake factory type of idea, but it's like they serve little tiny bits, like pinchos, and you pay €2 and have the best cheesecake in the entire world. I was blown away. Amazing.
Can I ask one more question, John? What's your take on paella?
I love paella, but it can be quite difficult to have it cooked in the right way with the right flavors. And but luckily on tour we go to Valencia, which is where paella comes from, and it's delicious. There's so many varieties of it: vegetarian, seafood, meat with rabbits, because it originally is made with rabbits, as well as chicken. So I love paella. I
think I just want to touch on that last bit, because we were talking about how important regional tours are to us, but for our guests, it really gives them that opportunity to spend more time in Spain if they love Spain, because if we go on a tour and we go through Spain, we end up eating things like paella in Barcelona, where it's not from. So it gives you that opportunity to go and eat that food specifically where it's from. So the food hasn't traveled around the world. It hasn't been changed and modified to the people of that region. It's what that region offers, which I think is the most important thing. Cool. So authenticity, I think, is the amazing part of that, eh?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. All right.
Brandon's speechless. That's the first.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to do that Spanish tour actually one day, Spain and Portugal. Yeah.
I do. I went all over Europe, but I do a lot of Spain and Portugal tours in the summers. It's just where I love to be. It's amazing, and I could never get. I've done about 60 tours over the last 8 years. I just never get tired, never get bored.
And the climate, right? The climate is perfect, so you can go pretty much. You can go pretty much any time, eh? Like even in some of the cooler months, the rest of Europe, Spain and Portugal are still quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, exciting. So if you want to go Spain and Portugal, what's your date? July
the 31st.
July the 31st.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
Amazing. I'm happy with that. You guys happy? Should we sign off?
Yeah, I think we better, or it's going to get too long.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think well done.
So
I think we kept that quite short, I think.
I don't think so. So what has everyone got to look forward to next week? Matt's stepping up to the plate, yeah?
Matt is taking the lead. If he's here, if he turns up, I don't know.
I won't book any drinking sessions for next week.
And we got another one of our colleagues.
Yes, Aaron on tour next week, so will be good to catch up with him. I think he's in the UK at the moment. Has been there, so yeah, it'd be good to see him.
Yeah.
And it was so good to see you, John, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again, and hopefully you can get out of that. What did you call it? Isolation Island or something?
The city of eternal lockdown.
The city of eternal lockdown soon, yeah. And head on down to Spain and get some nice sun and
Absolutely, can't wait. And Tinto Barano.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck with that, John.
Thank you, guys. Lovely to see you all, and I'll be speaking to you again soon. Yeah.
You too, John.
Okay.
Adios, amigos. Hasta
Bye.
See you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.